Now watch this.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. I had to ask God for His mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Time tells the truth. Now that was a post that P Diddy put on his Instagram about 4 days ago as I'm recording this. Now, that was also right before the whole entire video of him beating Cassie down in the middle of a hallway leading to an elevator came out too. Now, after that has came out, you see pictures of him and his daughter. Looks like he's on some type of vacation. Even the video of him confessing, like you saw earlier, what he did wrong. It seems to be out of the country. I could be wrong, maybe it's in South Florida. It appears to be somewhere very tropical. So here's the thing. When it comes to black people in general, one of the ways that when it comes to black people in general, one of the main ways we always get manipulated is through religion and asking for forgiveness. Somebody could wrong us, somebody could hurt us, somebody could kill a family member of ours, and then we are expected to forgive, move on, and believe this person has went ahead and led himself to God, and only God could judge them, and that's it, right? But that's not the case in this situation. You have the whole entire world seeing you beat this woman down in the middle of a hallway while she was trying to leave you up from assuming from a freak off or you having close to a drug overdose while she felt comfortable enough to leave at that particular time. Now, here's the thing. There is a lot of people that still secretly support P Diddy because they do the exact same thing at home, if not worse. So a lot of these rappers that are out right now trying to condemn him, I find it funny. So I'm sure these exact same rappers seen him doing this stuff and didn't say a thing. Even 50 Cent, the main man that stays on Diddy's neck, who exposed years ago, 10 plus years ago, about the videos of Cassie and all this other kind of stuff, never mentioned any abuse allegations from my knowledge. He is mainly focused on Diddy being gay or down low, and there's a lot of rumors about that too. So here's my question. Now that we see this is happening with Cassie and P Diddy, we have video evidence that he has brutalized this woman and done so for years. Now I'm pretty sure that other people, because you don't get that comfortable doing it to just one person. In fact, I remember about 2 years ago was a Young Miami he had undercover talking down to her. A lot of people thought it was funny. They was making jokes saying there was a piece of turkey on the ground that she was forced to eat and all this other kind of stuff. And then you hear all the rumors about eating forced period blood and things like that. This very disgusting stuff, very ego-driven, power trip-driven stuff this man has done. And not just to women, to other men. There's all kinds of rumors about him forcing men to homosexual acts who are not that way, just for the power of it. So you mean a man like that really gave himself to God? Do you really think a man like that is really sorry? Or he realized, hey, the primary source of my money is the black dollar. My main audience is black people. If I get black people behind me again, they'll be able to support me and forgive me. I can get a few people to step up on my side, like JayZ, and whoever else. Then I could bounce back. I can make my fortune. I can move on in life. Because he wants to win in the court of public opinion, so he won't go completely broke. And then once we give him our support, what ends up happening next? The white companies will go ahead and invest into him again. because they will know that he'll be able to sell to us. So my hope is anybody that has been strong supporters of P Diddy, I hope that we separate ourselves from them too. I'm looking at JayZ right now, because just as many rumors I've heard about P Diddy, I heard the exact same ones about JayZ. But nobody wants to talk about JayZ. Like Jaguar Wright said, he's more quiet and more methodical, but he's out here trying to be in the public like people want his autograph. Truthfully, I wouldn't care if I ever saw JayZ one day in my whole entire life. Which I always thought was kind of funny when people was like, hey, would you take $500,000 on dinner with JayZ? Even JayZ was talking about he'll take $500,000. Only foolish people will take a dinner with him or a lunch with him, whatever the country was worded. But you can't be best friends with somebody like that and not see their behaviors. And again, Sean Combs was too comfortable. I understand he most likely bought that whole entire floor, but according to things by his security guard that came out talking about stories of him chasing people out of the building, them being butt naked. Just like you have stories from Jaguar Wright and the parties. It's an ongoing thing from multiple different sources that have similar stories that makes it believe that it has to be truth in there somewhere. And all those people that stood idly by and watched it and just let it happen, you're just as guilty in my opinion. So JayZ, everybody in Bad Boy, I think all y'all should just go away. Truthfully, it should be like the head of a snake that's decapitated, let it die, and then start all over with a new music scene and group. Because let's be real here, when P Diddy and the fam came into the picture, rap went down, entertainment went down. We fell more and more hard into that stereotype when it came to black people and what we were capable of. And this gives me a newfound respect for J. Cole. A lot of people clown J. Cole for walking away with that beef with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and him just focusing on his mental health and peace. But supposedly he's the only one that ever put hands on P Diddy. He used to watch him when he was a kid, and now he knows too much. I'm paraphrasing the verse, but let's be real here. If somebody can do that, put hands on P Diddy, walk away, still have a successful career, that just shows that talent beats out kissing somebody's ass and watching them abuse people. People let the almighty dollar get away. No, let me rephrase that. People let the idea of an easy dollar get away instead of trying to build themselves up with their own talent. So they rely on a P Diddy, they rely on JayZ, the gatekeepers of the entertainment industry. But they're not keeping no gates no more. So now what are your excuses? Is it a quote unquote NDA? That's fine. I'm pretty sure the feds have a way around that for you. If P Diddy was a king, the king has fallen at this point. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna try to build your own empires? Or are you gonna keep falling behind this foolish king that has led you all astray and down a path of sin, depravity, and evilness? I'm not trying to get into preaching at this point, but the stuff that I have seen is just straight up an evil person. And I think everybody knows somebody that has been abused, that has been hurt. They have seen it firsthand. I know I did growing up. I seen men beat their women bloody. I see women beat their men. So when you grow up seeing that type of abuse, and then you see these people that you think are quote unquote better, you think they have it together, they don't have those strange stressors that most people fight about. They don't have to fight about money. They don't gotta fight about a house or a car payment. They don't gotta fight about what's going to be had for dinner because they have an option of getting whatever the hell they want. They don't gotta fight about, hey, can we go out, because they have the money to do whatever they want to. But yet they're still unhappy, and they're still the biggest piece of crap that you can ever imagine. So I'm just rambling at this point, but I really do hope that nobody falls for this PD asking for sorry, and I really hope that TDJs don't come out and try to support this man. I have a feeling that's what it's going to be. And let's not forget, I have that video playing in the corner right now of, or I had it earlier, excuse me, of P Diddy listing out a list of name of people. I want to see how many of those people are actually going to speak out against them now, or are they going to stay silent until the feds fully prosecute him, and then they say, oh well, hey, he had but this blackmail on me, or they had something. They don't want to say what the blackmail was, but they'll come up with some excuse of why they didn't speak up earlier, and they'll probably use the feds as an excuse most likely. But you guys tell me what you think. This is one of the most disgusting things I've seen. I kind of wish he just never apologized, because it was fake. I hate it when I see black people in general try to pull on our old programmed ways, because we're the only ones that are pretty much told to forgive and move on. Anybody else, they see justice, but for black people in particular, we're always told to forgive and move on. Forget forgiveness. I want justice. They say forgiveness is for not the other person, is for yourself. No, I want justice. Not everybody deserves to be forgiven. And half the things that P Diddy has been accused of, the murders, the assaults, the gatekeeping, everything else, he don't need forgiveness.